We have a challenge from Danielle. She says, Hubdoc versus Entryless. Go! I'll tell you right now, I am falling out of love with Entryless. And here is why. For starters, the OCR is not that great. It does save time. It does have OCR. The technology scans PDFs, picks out information. Here's the dollar amount. Here's the vendor, whatever, and that saves time. But it gets it wrong so many times. And Entryless, I'm just not seeing forward movement with Entryless like I am with other apps. I'm not seeing. Guess what? We've updated the software. We have, well, it's cloud-based, but we've done an update, or here's version 17.0, or here's a new feature that we've just released. It's not happening. So the things that aren't working with Entryless, I have no expectation that they're going to be fixed because nothing's really happening with it. And the issues with the recognition, the OCR, getting it wrong, that's a major deal. I mean, the whole point of using it, one of the major points of using it is to save time on data entry, because Entryless integrates very, very well with other systems like Xero. So, you push it from Entryless into Xero. It always gets there correctly. I mean, it gets there the same way it left Entryless, I should say. But a lot of times those are just wrong. Another beef that I have about Entryless is that if you have the same vendor and the same two bills with the same vendor and the same reference number, it'll kick back. You have to change the reference number somehow. That's a real pain. And the whole point here is that we need to save time and not do things manually. I do like in Entryless that you can review items one by one, or you can review them in bulk. But something I don't like about it is that but on this issue, I don't know if it's different from Hubdoc. You can't send something in if it has two PDF attachments, it's going to show up in Entryless as two different bills. It's going to get duplicated. So you have to manually, if you have, let's say, two different PDFs, let's say a cover sheet with some accounting information, or this is part of XYZ job, or get reimbursed from PDQ grants, and then the receipt. If you send that into Entryless with two PDFs attached, it's going to show up as two duplicate bills. One bill with one PDF and one bill with another. So you have to manually merge those two PDFs together and then send it to Entryless. Did I mention that the whole point of using the system is to save time and not do things manually? So that's my long story about why I'm falling out of love with Entryless. Hubdoc has a lot better OCR. If it reads the correct vendor from the backup, just no issues with OCR. As far as the vendor names, Entryless always seems to pick up the correct dollar amount, but half the time, I mean a good half the time, the vendors, it's like it doesn't even have a letter in common with the stuff that it's picking out of there. And those issues I haven't found to be present with Hubdoc. The integration with accounting systems, I'd say those are on par. The only thing which I don't know right now, and I would love to know, is if the issue with two PDFs, if you send a bill with two PDFs into Hubdoc, will it duplicate the bill? I'd like to know the answer to that. But we're actually a Hubdoc partner, but I haven't looked into that one issue. I want to find out because I really, really like to move out of Entryless into Hubdoc. So I am so glad you asked. Thank you. Yep. Okay, super. One thing I like about Entryless, although off the top of my head, I don't know if Hubdoc does this, the tracking categories. So we have Entryless hooked up to Xero for one of our clients, and they use two tracking categories. Those tracking categories do appear in Entryless. They're not populated automatically though. They still have to be populated manually, but from Entryless. Those things just fine into Xero. Again, I don't like that manual piece. Even if those tracking categories, even if that information is in the backup, it's in the PDF with the proper tags, they don't show up, you have to put them in manually, and that's a pain.